Good morning, everyone. Today I want to have a chat with you about intravenous sedation and certain precautions and share with you a story that happened between me and one of my patients. So first, for credibility, my name is Khaled. I have been a dentist for 20 years. I own and run my own practice, Lakeside Dental Spa in Hervey Bay in Queensland. And I took it from 1 chair to 10 chairs over the course of 14 years. And we started with team members of 3 staff members, and now we're close to 40 staff members. So in our practice, we provide intravenous sedation. So we have a medical specialist who attends the practice and prescribes the medication required for the patient for their sedation. And a very important thing you need to consider when you providing intravenous sedation is the discharge of patients. So it's very important that you have an escort to accompany the patient and take them from the practice to their home and probably monitor them for at least 24 hours. So I will tell you 2 stories, and I'll share a third story of mine. So one story is not in my practice, where one patient was discharged, and the husband was given instructions to look after his wife for 24 hours and monitor her, but the husband decided she looks okay, she can manage well, she's responding normally. And then he left the wife at home with the kids and went to work, and one of the little children, a young child, jumped into the swimming pool, and of course the wife was out of it and couldn't rescue the child, and it was a very tragic event that happened in his family. So the husband is liable for sure, because he was given clear instructions to monitor this patient for 24 hours. Another story where a practice, not my practice, but they instructed the patient to wait in the waiting room, and they instructed the front desk to monitor the patient in the waiting room, which is not an ideal situation, of course. Ideally, the patient needs to be in a recovery or a clinical room and handed to an escort when they are ready to be discharged to go to their house. The patient ended up opening the front door and walked into the street, and the patient was found an hour later in a train station waiting for a train, not sure where she's going and what she's doing. Luckily, nothing tragic happened, but the results could have been catastrophic. My story is, I had a patient, he was booked for full clearance and having dental implants, and he was giving clear instructions that his partner needs to pick him up from the practice when he's ready to be discharged and needs to take them home. And upon that, we got the phone number of the partner and everything was ready, but we finished and the patient was ready to be discharged, and only to contact the wife, and she mentioned that she cannot pick up the patient, and the arrangement she had with the patient is he will take a taxi from our practice into an hour away somewhere on a highway, like close to IKEA or something, and she will meet the husband in a car park there and take him in her car to their house, which is another hour away. And the reason is that because she can't drive properly in the city or something. I can't remember the exact excuse. And for me, this arrangement was very risky, and the patient was okay with it. Like, oh, I'm happy I already booked a cab and a taxi and everything. I was like, no, I'm not comfortable with you going on a taxi by yourself for an hour, looking for a car park to find your wife, although you think you're okay, but I'm not okay with you doing that. And luckily, I didn't have any patients, so I actually drove the patient myself to his house, which was probably around 90 minutes away from the practice. So I'm not sure if something you would do if you're in my situation. Share with me what would you do if you are in my position, but for me that was a risk, and I wouldn't allow this risk to happen. I'd rather drive the patient off, and if I had patients, I would have asked 1 or 2 of my staff members to drive him home. We would have kept him in the practice until we found a way to deliver him to his house safely and have someone monitor him. So be very cautious with intravenous sedation. You need to monitor and you need to discharge those patients properly. Please share with me any stories that you faced, and if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you find this information helpful. Make sure you like and share it to your colleagues and friends. If you find it beneficial, make sure you subscribe and turn notification on so you get notified when I release more information. Thank you so much for listening. It means a lot to me.